Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about the Vouchsafe. This is the Dreaming City Scout, and I got the Bungie Curated role for it. The Bungie Curated roles are designed to be one of the absolute best perk combinations for a weapon that they can have. A dominant perk set. The barrels, the mid perks, masterworks, perks, all of it, all are chosen to bring out the best in the weapon. All chosen to bring up the low points on it and make it elite. These Bungie Curated roles are rare and can drop on raid weapons, Dreaming City weapons. As an example, there's a Bungie Curated role on a hand cannon that's Outlaw Dragonfly, kind of like a Fatebringer. The Dreaming City Sniper is Snapshot Box Breathing. Very nice perk sets, and I'm very happy with the Vouchsafe. I'm so stoked that I got it, so let's get into the review. This scout is of the 200 RPM class, similar to the Might of Multi-Tool, and we're going to pair most of the Energy 200s to this Bungie Curated role later on in the review. It has a range of 33, stability of 32, reload of 55, handling of 63, aim assist of 73, recoil direction stat of 47, and a magazine of 15. Of its base stats, some are going to be lacking. It has the second worst range. It has the worst stability. The stability isn't even close. Its stat of 32 is in last place. The next best stability goes to the Vicuna at 40. Its reload speed is the lowest of the 8. The handling stat of 63 is the lowest of the 8, but we're going to talk about this later. Not looking good so far, but we're going to bring up this graphic in a little bit. Now, I had a Vouchsafe before I got this Curated one. The Vouchsafe I have is really, really good. Low-key, really good. And actually, some of it I would like to have seen on the Bungie Curated role. This one has small bore, increases range and stability, tack or extended mag, it gets the mag up to 18. Its two perks are full auto and rapid hit. These two perks are very, very good together. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, Rapid Hit is one of my favorite perks in the game. It's top tier, it's elite. Rapid Hit states, rapid precision hits temporarily increase stability and reload speed. This perk is so good, guys. Be looking out for this perk on anything that you get. It gives you kind of a hybrid Outlaw and a hybrid Zen Moment. To trigger it, you land back-to-back precision hits, so 2 in a row. I use this thing a bunch, and full auto is a perfect combination for Rapid Hit. Check out the reload speed after Rapid Hit compared to its base reload without it. As you're landing those precision hits, the weapon is getting a little bit more stable, similar to a Zen Moment. I love this thing. But then I got the Bungie Curated role. I got the role from a tier 4 blind well. It gives you powerful gear and it dropped me the Vouchsafe. Its locked perks are going to be Fluted Barrel, greatly increases handling speed, slightly increases stability. Flared Magwell, slightly increases stability, greatly increases reload speed. Dragonfly, precision kills create an elemental damage explosion, and then Zen Moment, causing damage with this weapon increases its stability. Its masterwork is for stability, and you generate orbs on multi-kills. The Bungie Curated role usually brings up stats that are really lacking, brings up perk combinations that really work. Let's compare my two Vouchsafes. The only stat really that goes to my original one is going to be range, due to small bore being on the weapon, but every other stat on this Bungie Curated role is better. The role has really brought up the stability, really brought up the reload, and brought up the handling. All poor stats originally, it makes it a lot more snappy. For the role, there could have been a couple changes, small bore maybe, there's polygonal rifling, it gives you a great increased stability. Mid-tree, we could have had steady rounds, all those are nice, but with what they have in those two that they chose, it greatly helps the weapon. Fluted Barrel with Flared Magwell makes it a complete weapon, and that's the bottom line. These perks bring out the best version to make it complete. So let's see how those stats change. We're going to bring up the graphic from earlier with our base stats and then compare it to our new ones. This role adds 25 points to stability, 18 points to reload, 17 points to handling. And this really is what these fully masterwork perfect roles are all about, as some people call them God roles. The only thing that didn't change really was that range stat. But it made it much more stable, which is important on a scout rifle. A lot more snappier, the reload is a lot quicker than base. You paired that with a crowd control perk like Firefly for ads, and then Zen Moment for hitting bosses. It's perfect. A side of me wants Firefly Rapid Hit, but I would take these base stats over not having Rapid Hit, because when you compare the Scout to other ones in the energy category at 200 RPMs, again, range is going to be that outlier, but everything else goes to the Vouchsafe. Above and beyond better than the rest. As I stated earlier, I used my original Vouchsafe a lot before this one, been using it heavily for about a week or so and loved it, but transitioning to this one is night and day as far as overall weapon performance. Those stats really show up and are felt. The stability, the handling, the reload speed, it feels very lightweight, and actually it pairs with the actual intrinsic frame, the lightweight frame. That frame gives superb handling and move faster when the weapon is equipped. This one feels very different than the other one I have, and that's why we need random rolls right here. So let's talk about its performance in PvE. It's a void weapon with Firefly, so out of the gate, that's a really good thing. That opens up your loadout a little bit. Also being masterworked out of the gate helps a lot too, generating orbs on multi-kills. I really do love the perk set that they gave it. The Firefly is really good for trash mobs, and Zen Moments good for those higher tier enemies. Once you start landing shots with its already high stability, it's really a breeze to continue it. And let's talk about Zen Moment, what it does, and why it's so important for this weapon, why I love it. Zen Moment increases stability with each hit. Stability caps at 66% after 5 hits. The cooldown is very fast. Fast enough that if you get the buff, you max it out at 66% after your 5 hits. Once you start with your target that you're shooting at and then kind of move to your left and reacquire another one, the buff is already gone. It's like a second and a half, 2-second time frame. You can get past a reload a lot of the time, but if you have to actually move and find a new target, it's going to be gone. Now the 66% buff to stability that you get is off of your base stability, because when you look at the bar on the Vouchsafe, it has the stability masterwork, it has barrels and perks that increase its stability. The final ending stat is 57, but the base stat is 32, that's where we start. So it does 66% of that, so it adds 21 stability. So the final number for the stability is actually 68, is what you get up to when Zen Moment's in full effect. And that's what makes Zen Moment important on this weapon, why I love that they chose Zen Moment. Because if you have low stability and you're using a Zen Moment weapon, you're going to feel it. If you have high stability, you're not going to feel it that much. The curated role is right in the sweet spot. It's a little bit kind of in mid, right? You have this strong base stability now to actually land your shots and feel good. And when you get Zen Moment at its max point, it puts it to really feeling good, better than it did. It's right in that sweet spot. I plan on using it in the raid when we do it, and currently I use it in the blind whale. I use it everywhere on strikes for all my powerful gear for the week, balanced for all activities. For PvP, I keep it on long maps mostly, because it can compete. That lightweight frame really helps out with dueling because you move pretty fast when you're strafing, has high stability, it's a 4-headshot kill. And in PvP it does 51 to the head and 31 to the body with a TTK of 0.9 seconds. Again, 4-shot kill, which is really good. Your advantage is range with it, as you're using a scout rifle. It's obviously a good choice on your bigger maps, longer sight lines, but it can duel in closer engagements due to that stability, due to its sight. The frame really does help in PvP. We're going to come back to that because I find myself out strafing a lot of players in the Crucible. Since I do strafe fast at longer distances, I strafe a little bit wider, and that's kind of old school Halo right there. And inside the gunfight, I do smaller strafes to kind of throw off my opponent, because when I'm strafing that wide and they're using something like the Vigilant Swing, I'll kind of time it when I know that second burst or third burst is coming out. I'll make a short strafe to the side and make a miss. The stability and precision in your movement really makes it happen with this weapon. I like it a lot. I mean, it's in that Mida archetype. I do run Scout Unflinching on my armor. It makes my life a lot easier with it. In conclusion, I am very impressed with this role, and if it's something that you get, definitely give it a look. I feel it's a scout that you can always have with you. You have Firefly for ads, Zen Moment for bosses, best of both worlds. Get your mobility up a little bit, and the lightweight frame feels like a dream. Now, statistically, on a Bungie curated role, when you look at the stats after the barrel and perk options that they added to it, it bumps all those stats up that were lacking. It gets to a point to where it's not only usable for most situations, it can be a go-to. And if you played Destiny 1, do you remember the perk Hand-Laid Stock? Greatly increases stability, but you get a reduction in range. That's kind of how I view this role, but you get a big increase to stability, big increase to reload and handling, and the range just stays at base. Remember, with all the things that the Scout does well, you can make it do even better. I put on a counterbalance mod because I had like 8 of them, and it works a little bit, but I might put on Major Spec, Boss Spec, Targeting Adjuster, or Radar Tuner. Perks on your armor like Scout Unflinching Help, Scout Rifle Reloader, all of those things enhance the weapon. It's also to the point when a player gets a perfect role and it's something that they talked about, you can make it fit your playstyle. So Radar Tuner, more mag, Unflinching. That is where a weapon truly becomes yours. Now, Scouts in general are player preference. I know some players don't touch them. I know some players that only use them. With a role like this, it does have a lot of utility though. And I'm looking forward to obtaining more of these Bungie curated roles. And when you break them down, see what they did and why they did it, it's a beautiful thing. I bring it out in PvP on some of the larger maps, do well with it, and even on smaller maps like Javelin, the stats and frame help it tremendously. These Dreaming City weapons have very clean, open, simple sights. The red dot in the middle is kind of small, which I really like. Same goes for Twilight Oath, small sight, low zoom. And again, that's the Dreaming City Sniper. They have a great feel to them. I use it in Gambit a lot. I've done about 10 Nightfalls this week helping players out. We do match game as a modifier. I call void immediately. I'll take down the void shields. The thing I like most, again, is plainly the role that they put on it. It really helps this weapon's overall feel, its performance. It helps all those base stats it needed to, and it turns it into a monster. So if you're a fan of the Manananan Eternal Blazon Mida, this thing will feel great to you. So let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on the Vouchsafe in this special role, and do you have any of the Bungie curated roles? Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.